Welcome to Decouple China Radio Daily Report for June 24th, 2021, a production of Decouple China PAC. I'm your host, Paul Boardman. You can find Decouple China PAC, including these daily news updates from around the world at decouplecchina.org. Decouple China PAC is a U.S. political action committee whose stated public policy goal is the 100% decoupling of the United States from the Chinese Communist Party. This includes banning trade, banning China purchases of U.S. companies and U.S. land. Decouple China PAC stands for banning investment in China-owned companies and more. Decouple China PAC supports rebuilding USA with a manufacturing policy that onshores the many security, vital industries that China stole from the U.S. through illegal global trade practices. The purpose of this daily briefing is to demonstrate China's methods to American voters so that we can identify and combat them as they happen in the USA. The urgency to decouple from China 100% now will become clear to our American voters, and we can break the lock that the glimmer of China prosperity has on some Americans. We can end our dependency on China and rebuild American-based ingenuity and prosperity. Boycott Chinese products. Write your elected officials. Demand 100% decoupling from China. Decouple China PAC offers an opportunity to commit to a 100% decouple from China policy. Support Decouple China PAC at decouplecchina.org by making a donation. Now, the published June 24th, 2021 China news from around the world. Associated Press. U.S. blocks solar panel materials from China over labor abuses. Washington AP. A Chinese company that produces a key ingredient in solar panels will be barred from the U.S. market as part of a broader effort to halt commerce tied to the country's repressive campaign against Uyghurs and other minorities, the Biden administration said Thursday. Reuters. China says after massed drills that Taiwan's future lies in reunification. Beijing. Taiwan needs to be clearly aware that its future lies in reunification with China and that it cannot rely on the United States, China's military said on Thursday, responding to questions on a massed incursion by Chinese warplanes last week. Newsweek. North Korea's food supply in crisis as imports from China dropped 90%. North Korea is facing a food crisis after imports from China dropped about 90% between April and May this year, according to data from the China General Administration of Customs. Desiree News. Are China's vaccines effective? 4 countries tell cautionary tales. China's COVID-19 vaccines, what the country has called a global public good, have come under increased scrutiny lately. 4 countries that vaccinated the majority of their populations with Chinese vaccines all ranked among the 10 worst outbreaks in the world last week. Newsweek. China spy master makes first public appearance since defection rumors. Chinese state security official has made his first public appearance amid rumors that he had defected to the United States 4 months ago. China's 57-year-old Vice Minister of State Security has been the subject of much discussion in America's conservative circles, with the speculation even reaching Chinese social media threads, as Beijing's top spy catcher was not seen photographed for several weeks. While the Chinese government has yet to publicly address the stories about his alleged defection, its embassy in Washington informed Newsweek on Wednesday that the country's senior counterintelligence official had attended a cross-regional security dialogue earlier in the day. Money. America and other Western companies moving out of China. Famous firms pulling out of the People's Republic. As the U.S.-China trade war rumbles on and relations between other liberal democracies and Beijing deteriorate due to everything from intellectual property theft to human rights violations in Xinjiang and the eroding away of Hong Kong's autonomy, many globally renowned companies are deserting China. Newsweek. China military holds record-breaking drill in Tibet amid heightened tensions. The Chinese military recently held record-breaking drills in Tibet amid heightened regional tensions with India as the South Asian nation begins conducting military drills with the U.S. Reuters. China says it will take necessary measures to safeguard Chinese firms' interests. Beijing. China said on Thursday that it would take all necessary measures to safeguard legitimate interests of Chinese companies after the United States blacklisted 5 Chinese firms over alleged human rights abuses in Xinjiang. Reuters. Tokyo says Taiwan security directly connected to Japan. The security of Taiwan is directly linked with that of Japan, Japan's defense minister said in an interview with Bloomberg News. The peace and stability of Taiwan is directly connected to Japan, and we are closely monitoring ties between China and Taiwan, as well as Chinese military activity. Daily Mail. China announces plans to put the first humans on Mars by 2033. China plans to send its first crewed mission to Mars in 2033, with the goal of constructing a base and extract resources from the red planet. Bloomberg. China sues Australia over trade barriers. China has filed a lawsuit against Australia at the World Trade Organization over measures Australia has taken against Chinese exports of railway wheels, wind towers, and kitchen sinks. The move further aggravates an already tense relationship between the two countries. Fox News. Greg Jarrett, COVID and China. Dr. Fauci's tangled web of deceit just got bigger. Dr. Anthony Fauci's suspected web of deceit has grown even more tangled. So too does the legal jeopardy he could face. Newsweek. 6 Chinese manufacturers of solar industry materials blacklisted from U.S. market. 6 Chinese manufacturers of raw materials and components for the solar industry will be added to a blacklist by the U.S. Commerce Department, barring them from access to the U.S. market as part of an effort to halt commerce connected to allegations of China's human rights violations against Uyghurs and other minorities. The Hill. U.S. diplomat says U.S. no longer sees Taiwan as problem in relationship with China. The U.S. diplomat on Thursday said the U.S. no longer sees Taiwan as a problem in Chinese relations, but an opportunity to promote a free and open Indochina. Business Insider. A scientist says he found 13 Wuhan coronavirus sequences that were deleted from a U.S. database and claims they're a goldmine for research into the virus's origins. Reuters. China appeals to World Trade Organization over Australia's duties on 3 products. China has made a complaint to the World Trade Organization over Australia's anti-dumping and anti-subsidy measures on 3 products, its commerce minister said on Thursday. CNBC. Chinese ride-sharing giant Didi aims for $60 billion valuation in IPO. Fox News. Johns Hopkins professor on China reportedly deleting COVID-19 data in possible cover-up. CNN. Taiwan's foreign minister says, we need to prepare for military conflict with China. South China Morning Post. U.S. advanced computing has shrunk to alarming state compared to China's, warns defense contractor. Head of Northrop Grumman, Kathy Warden, says Chinese progress in the sector is particularly problematic for America. Reuters. First COVID-19 case could have emerged in China in October 2019. Newsweek. China cannot be stopped by anyone, Beijing defense official warns U.S. The Hill. China's COVID-19 vaccine duplicity. Is China lying about its COVID-19 vaccines? It appears so. And who is surprised? China has lied about many aspects of COVID-19 from the start. helping to cause millions of deaths and untold financial hardship. This week, Biden faces tough path to building a better Belt and Road than China. President Joe Biden has set out an ambitious mission to rebuild the United States both in image and infrastructure, a goal he's pegged not only to the country's own needs, but one tied to a fierce race with China for 21st century global leadership. Thank you for listening to Decouple China Radio's Daily Report for June 24th, 2021 from around the world with your host, Paul Boardman. A list of these publications and daily broadcasts can be found at decouplecechina.org.